And here we are again. I wanted to add a few details to yesterday's video, the video that I made before called Axie Debut. There were some things that on watching it I thought were not entirely clear, but I didn't want to just junk the video, so I decided just to add this sort of erratum video here. So the debut part 2, or not even part 2, like the DVD extras of a debut. First of all, the quest, which I talked about yesterday. I wanted to show you, I haven't done the quest today, so I wanted to show what it looks like when you haven't started it. Two things that, or at least one thing that I did not say before and that I want to be clear about, you have to complete all these things. The first one is just a check-in. Just click the check-in button. Then you have to do these 10 levels in adventure and then win 5 arena matches. That's fine. Then when you finish that, you have to click this claim button, because if you don't, you don't get them. And it's easy to forget. Like you get all 3 of these done, you think, yeah, I got my 25, that's great. But, don't forget to hit claim. The other thing I wanted to talk about was how we are going to approach the earning SLP, playing adventure, and playing arena. So the Axies that I have right now for my scholars, for you, are pretty good. They're all double aqua team. Okay, so that's going to be a plant and then 2 aquas. So this is a team that I've been playing with, and I play around the 1500 MMR range, which is all of the teams that I have. I think with a good player can get to the 1500 and above. The quality of the Axies is about there. I think after that, I don't know if you're going to be able to get much farther than that without an upgrade in the Axies. But 1500 MMR with 20 energy a day and a good player, or an above average, even an average player, I think an average player is going to get at least 150 SLP, and a good player will get well over 200. That's where we are right now. As Axie Archipelago Ascension grows, as our group grows, and I have very aggressive plans to grow, we're going to be getting new Axies. And any of our scholars, original scholars, who have been for a while and are playing very well and have shown dedication to the game and dedication to the group, they're going to get the upgrades first. So maybe you might be at like 1600 MMR, 1700 with your starter Axies, and you think you're kind of stuck there. So I'll take your Axies and give them a new scholar, and I'll give you an upgrade to get you to the next level. Now that won't be for a while, so I'm going to bring on my new scholars soon, my first group of scholars soon, and then the next group will be later on next month, and then maybe the month after that or the month after that I'll bring in new ones. It really depends. A lot of it depends on the price of SLP. But the Axies that you start with are going to be fine for adventure. They're going to kill adventure, won't have any trouble there, and they're going to get you into the around 9 to 12 SLP per win in arena. I think you can get to that level. I have, and I'm not a very good player. This is, I'm more into the breeding. That's kind of what I really enjoy. I play just because I want to be able to know what to breed, basically. So this is a process, and we're going to grow together. And as you participate in growing this school, this group, then you're going to be the first ones to get the new Axies, so that you can get higher and higher. Now, at some point, I think people, when they get around 2,000 or so MMR, the rewards that you get for the arena are so big that, like, the 50 points for the adventure, it's not even worth the time to do that. So, it takes 6 or 7 minutes to do 10 adventures. That's an hour. Most of them rather just play, arena for an hour. The rewards are just that much better. Hopefully we all get to that level soon. That's the plan. Anyway, as far as the arena goes, I don't want to push the button because I did that yesterday and started a game and had to edit a large chunk out of this. This is the team which is very similar to the team that you all will be playing with. They're all kind of it's a pattern because I'm breeding these myself. You see the same kind of thing. So the plants, we got 4 plants here, cactus or the beech on top. This one is the rosebud. So there's a plant up front, and then there's going to be the Nemo midliner. There's a Nemo midliner right here. Here's a Nemo midliner, and then the koi backliner. We're all going to be playing with the same type of teams, And that means that we can all help each other. So things that I learn, I'll be teaching to you, and things that you learn, you can teach to me and to each other. One of the reasons why my MMR is so low right now is that I've been playing with this team right here, which is a little bit experimental because I have Nemo backliner, which is a little bit odd, and also the carrot. I don't usually play with the carrot, but I wanted to try it so that I could tell you guys how to use this. It's been a learning curve for me. I've got another Axie right here with the Rosebud. I don't use Rosebud very often, so I'm going to try to figure out how to use him best. So again, so that when I give this to a scholar, I can give them advice about how to use it. So my own ambition right now is not to be the best arena player that I can be. I think that a lot of you are going to be much better than I am very quickly because it's just not really my forte. I want to play well enough to learn to help absolute new players get started, and I want to play well enough to know what Axies are going to be good to buy or breed for my scholars. So that's kind of my goal. Hopefully that's clear. I wanted to make that clear about the quest. Please don't forget to claim that when you do that. And then the goal, I think everyone should have a goal to... I think you start at 1100 MMR. I think that's a starting point. And I think you can get up to 1300 very quickly and sustainably up to 1500 in, a few weeks, a month maybe. And once you get there, we'll cruise there for a little while until it's time to do an update. One more thing about the updates. We're right now at the end of season 18. So the seasons generally last 4 to 6 weeks. And at the end of the season, the top players share this prize pool. The top players, the top 1,000 or so, get the prize pool. This is what you get. If you're in the top 1,000, you get 1,000 of the WAXS. I don't know how much money that is. And if you're the very top, the number one, I think, this one is close to about 10,000 US, which is quite nice. Of course, not many people get that. It's not outrageous to think that we can get into the top 1,000. I think as we grow and get better Axies, that's a more long-term goal. The reason I brought this up, this is going to end in 2 days. And then after the season ends, they'll have off season for, again, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And in that 3 or 4 week off season, they start making changes. They say, you know what, this October treat card, that's not enough defense. So we're going to bop that up to 125. Or they say, this one, it's deal 120 if the Axie shield breaks. But that's too much. Let's take that down. Let's say that we'll deal 120 if the shield breaks and that we go to half HP or something like that. So the thing is that they monkey around with it. They fiddle with it. They tweak it. They look at what happened in the previous season, what happened in season 18, and they said, where was the unbalance? Where were things too much? One particular card or one particular build was too powerful. Let's cut that a little bit. This other card, nobody used this card at all. What's wrong with this card? Why do people not like it? Let's give that a little bump. They spend some time in the off season to balance the game. Just for example, right now the poison is incredibly popular in the top 500, top 1,000 maybe. What that is that you have a bunch of Axies that have a poison on them, and it's really cheap to poison your opponent. You poison a whole bunch of them multiple times during the game, and they just kind of start to wither away. It's very, very tough to beat. It's incredibly popular at the higher levels of the game. I think a lot of people are saying AAA should just go and get a bunch of poison Axies, and that's going to make us really powerful in season 19. Well, probably not. That is so unbalanced. Almost certainly they are going to nerf that, as they say, or they're going to make that build a little bit weaker, or they're going to change another build to make it stronger, give people better ways to eliminate poison. That's not going to last. What I'm going to do is, in the beginning, I'm going to concentrate on these really solid builds. Like this double aqua build is been around for a year now. It's a solid build. With a little bit tweaking, it can be the best, but it's probably not going to change very much. It's been this way for a long time. People like it. People, for the most part, don't think it is too powerful. They just think it's solid and dependable. The people who play it really well, Indez is one of the top players, and he plays double aqua often, not always, but often plays double aqua. I think he might have invented it, actually, but he tweaks it. He changes it all the time. He has 2 aquas, but this Babylonian horn's no good. Let's switch that out for Shoal Star or something. He's always tweaking it and always changing it around a little bit. But basically, this double aqua build is quite good, and it's going to continue. I guarantee you it's going to continue to be good in Season 19, 20, 21, 30, and so on and so forth. So right now, I want to concentrate on getting all of our scholars really steady builds, really solid, really steady. And once we are all kind of clicking on gears, I'm going to start to breed a little bit stronger ones that maybe don't have as much utility, or you have to be a really good player. So a niche build. Now that's another point I want to bring up here, is that some of these really niche builds, some of the ones that are very popular, you really have to be a good player to use it, because the timing is very important. You have to have a good idea. It depends that you can guess what the other player is going to do. They're kind of made for very good players. And if I were to go out and buy those and give those to brand new scholars who've never played the game before, that's not going to put them in the top 100, even though that's a really, really good build, because it's not just the build, it's the player. So we're going to learn on these. We're going to grow on these standard, strong base. And then as we get better, we're going to start to incorporate stronger cards to hopefully get some of us into the higher levels, if that's your ambition. That's all I want to say. It's actually, I said a lot more than I meant to. If you're just getting started, concentrate on adventure. Use a lot of your points on adventure until you get to the higher levels. Try to get that 75 SLP a day, the 50 from adventure and the 25 from quest. And then use whatever you have left for the arena and try to get as much as you can. As you start, you might only be getting 6 SLP from an arena win, but if you can get 5 wins, so let's say that you spend 10 levels, you spend 10 energy on adventure, and that gets you the 50 SLP, and then you spend 10 energy on arena and you win 5 of them, and your MMR is like 1,200, 1,200. So those 5 wins are worth 6 SLP apiece, so that's 30. That's 105 SLP. That's not a bad day, honestly. And then again, like I say, once these guys get to a higher level in adventure, then stop putting energy into it and put all 20 energy into arena, and you'll be getting 75 plus. Even if again you're only winning half, you'll be getting 135 or so SLP a day, which is pretty good. So let's do our best to finish the adventure, get our guys high levels, and then start working the arena and try to get up. The first step should be 1,300, stay there, and then next step should be 1,500 MMR. I think you can do it. If I can do it, certainly you can, because I'm not very smart and I'm not a really good player, and I did it. I've done it. So I think you can too. Well, I'm sure you can too, in fact. It's just a matter of time and effort and practice, okay? So what I'm going to do next in my next series of videos, I'm going to be talking about some really basic tips to improve your arena play. I don't think I have to say much about adventure. It's pretty straightforward. But I'm going to talk about some tips to improve your arena play with the 3 Axies that will be very similar to the ones that you have. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for spending some time with me. I appreciate it. And keep fighting. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Thank you.